The country of Tanzania is one of Africa's most storied safari destinations, as well as home to one of the world's largest and most diverse populations of wildlife. Few men understand the issues and politics that affect Tanzania better than Michel Mantheakis. Michel is a lifetime citizen of Tanzania. He has held a professional hunting license for over 33 years, owned his own safari firm for 24 years, and currently serves as the chairman of the Tanzania Hunting Operators Association. The DSC Foundation recently sat down with Michel for an in-depth discussion on the realities, current challenges, and the uncertain future of Tanzania's wildlife and her safari industry. His insight provides a blueprint for the proven model of conservation through hunting.
Our national policy has always been that wildlife needs to pay for itself and contribute to the national economy. And in time, Tanzania became the premier safari destination and the leader in the proven conservation through hunting model. The size of Tanzania is 364,000 square miles, of which 32%, or effectively a third of the country, are hunting concessions. To put it into perspective, the combined hunting area in Tanzania is larger than the entire state of Arizona, and only 4 states in the lower 48 are larger in surface area. Being a developing nation, we can't afford to take money away from education, health, and infrastructure to fund wildlife conservation. It is hunting revenue that fuels the engine of conservation outside of national parks, and 70% of that revenue comes from the American hunters. And we must pay tribute to the American hunter, who for over 100 years have funded our conservation model. The hunters of this great nation are our greatest conservation partners. It is important to understand that the national parks in Tanzania, where we don't hunt, comprise only 7% of Tanzania's surface area. And of those, only the Northern Circuit national parks of Serengeti, Kilimanjaro, Manyara, and Tarangire receive enough tourists to be profitable. However, they bear the burden of subsidizing the operational costs of another 14 national parks in Tanzania that are more remote and less visited by tourists. This clearly proves that it is not viable to consider converting hunting concessions into photographic tourism, as has been suggested by the anti-hunting community. Facts clearly show that a third of Tanzania is dependent on hunting revenue for the conservation of our wildlife resources. Hunting creates the needed financial incentives to justify and conserve these wilderness areas against the pressures of alternative use, like agriculture and livestock keeping. The real Armageddon of wildlife in Africa is the population explosion combined with poverty. The unfortunate reality is, as a developing nation, Tanzania's population doubles every 15 to 20 years, and creating an unprecedented pressure for the survival of our wilderness areas. Only a vibrant hunting industry can protect the wildlife and the wilderness. But that is something that the powerful anti-hunting lobby conveniently dismisses, as it undermines their propaganda and their money-making model. When I was young, human activity amounted to islands surrounded by a sea of wilderness. Today, it is the wilderness that are islands surrounded by a sea of humanity. These days, you can easily tell the boundaries of protected areas on Google Earth. Protected areas appear dark green due to the heavily forested tree cover. It's a stark contrast from the brown color of bare earth and agriculture, overgrazing and deforestation. Poverty is the biggest enemy of conservation, as it compels people to take risks for quick financial gains to alleviate their misery and suffering. Desperate people do desperate things, and morality can be heavily influenced by financial status. The need for more community involvement and benefit sharing is the reason Tanzania is reforming and moving towards assuring greater benefits from hunting for the local communities. Wherever this strategy has been implemented, the local communities develop into responsible custodians of the wilderness resources.